Hello my ladies, in this video I'm sharing with you 4 subjects you should avoid oversharing information about, whether it is with people you've just met or people that are very close to you. You should avoid oversharing information about these subjects or talking about them at all if that is even possible, because that can really have a huge impact on your life. Oversharing, it is not necessary and you do not feel good afterwards. You know that feeling after you've overshared, you've kind of told someone close or someone you've just met a little bit too much about either one of these subjects. You gave them a little bit too much information, and then after you go home or the day after, you kind of feel you have that, gut feeling, you're not feeling all right, and you wish you didn't tell it at all. The kind of regret, that gut feeling, we all know it, we all have had it in our lives at least once. So just don't overshare, because it never feels good afterwards and you don't want to end up regretting oversharing information. There is so much power and peace with just keeping information to yourself. It's so powerful, it's so peaceful, and we just need to learn to do it. And I also feel like keeping information to yourself is also a very big sign that you are emotional intelligent. Being silent and not oversharing is a sign that you are emotional mature and that you are emotional intelligence. That's a big sign. And to some women that happens in their teenage year, to some of us it happens over their 40s, in their 50s, to some of us it happens in our 30s. Every woman is different, but being strong and knowing when and where to talk and when and where not to talk, what to share, what not to share, how to make small talk, that is a big lesson you need to teach yourself if you haven't learned it. So I'm going to make a couple of different videos about this subject because it's a huge subject. There's so much to say about this. But in this video, I will be sharing the 4 subjects that you want to stay away from, do not talk about too much, and avoid going into details about. And also, this has nothing to do with either being an introvert or extrovert. Both of these parties can overshare information. With extroverts, it's because they socialize a lot, so there's a lot of more opportunity for them to overshare information, to talk with people about these things, because you have more occasions to do that. With introverts, it's usually because they don't really socialize as much as extroverts, they don't talk too much to people, but their relationships, and when they talk to someone, they do get a little bit more intimate, so much more quicker. They get more intimate, they get more deeper their conversations than the extrovert person who has a lot of people to talk with, but sometimes the conversations only last 1 minute. But with introverts, because they don't get exposed to a lot of people all of the time, their conversations tend to go more deeper quickly, so they tend to overshare more, whether it is because their conversation just gets deeper or it is because they haven't had the social skill yet and haven't taught themselves yet how to manage yourself, how to keep some things to yourself, how to talk about these subjects without oversharing and without telling your secrets, because some people just don't know what to say. They just blurt everything out and then they feel really bad afterwards, or some people just don't have a filter. So these 4 subjects, let's get right into it, you need to stay away from, or when that subject comes on, your alarm bells need to go off and you need to know what to do, what to say, and what not to say. So the number 1 subject you should be very careful about when you talk about it with other people, and when I say other people, it is either close people, like very close to you, or people you've just met, or people you work with, you see once in a while, is your finances, your financial situation. Never ever go into details about your finances. And what I've learned throughout my life, usually you get, even though you trust them fully, you believe them so much, usually it comes from my circle, from the people within my circle, not the people that are closest to me, but people within my circle that I see frequently, that I really like. Usually the setbacks, the problems caused after me sharing a type of information usually come from the people who are in my inner circle, unfortunately. So finances, you need to be very careful when you talk about your income, whether you are doing really good in life or the total opposite and you're going on a very rough path and your finances are just going downhill, you are not earning enough or you're not earning anything. Don't share any of that. Obviously, you can be very vague and you can share it with your, for example, your partner or your mom, but be very careful. Even family members, even siblings, people do not need to know the exact number that you are earning. People do not need to know that. Even your spouse actually doesn't need to know that. It causes only harm. Nothing good will come out of you oversharing the exact numbers. Why do you want other people to know what you are earning? It's either going to cause jealousy, or it's going to cause people kind of rejecting you or feeling themselves better than you because they're earning so much more than you. And if you are earning more than them, they are going to be very jealous. And if they earn the same and you go on a vacation or you do this and this, they're just going to be very jealous because, oh, I'm doing the exact same job or I'm earning the exact same money, but this person is only working these many hours and is going on vacation doing this. They are going to start comparing themselves to you. Please be careful. If someone asks you like, oh, how much do you earn, you know, when you have a job, just say, oh, it changes. I don't know. Or just be honest. Like, I am a very honest person. I just say, I don't think it's necessary to talk numbers, you know, it changes. Or you can just lie. You can say, I work as a freelancer, so every month is different. I really cannot say a number. And it's kind of rude to ask that, but people really answer those questions in detail, sometimes because they don't know what else to answer, because I feel like no one actually wants to share the exact same numbers, but they kind of get shocked by the question. And you need to know what to answer, how to handle in situations like that. So when people ask me that, I always say I'm a housewife. Even though people know that I work and that I have an income, I just say I'm a housewife. Maybe I do other things, but I have learned to not talk about it. I used to have an online business that I would share on Instagram, that I would share with everyone because I was so proud, you know, I was an entrepreneur. And I noticed that the people that were closest to me started to copy me in a way, and they wanted to be me, and they started to take my customers away from me. They started to do the exact same thing. So sometimes it's not people you've just met once or twice or a follower on Instagram that you've never met. Sometimes the biggest problems caused by you oversharing things comes from people very close to you. So even if you have a company, just don't tell them how much you earn. You're doing really good. People will see if you're doing good. You don't need to say anything about it. The same thing when you're not doing good. There are people, unfortunately, who are only there during the good times. Some people just don't want to lose everything at once. You've already lost, for example, your company or your job. You don't also want to lose your friend group, or you're maybe working on something. So there are also a lot of people who kind of take distance from you when they see that you're not doing really good, because they're scared you're going to ask them for money or ask them to lend you money, and they're just going to take their distance. You need to share this type of valuable information only with the people you fully trust. And sometimes even the people we fully trust are not to be fully trusted. Okay, number 2 are your future plans. Be quiet. This one you just do not tell. This is not like you can tell a little bit, you can know. Future plans is a big no. You are going to start a new company, you are getting a raise, you are planning this big world trip where you're traveling 6 months with your husband, you are going to get a big wedding. You overheard your boyfriend is going to propose to you. Everything amazing that you have in your future. You want to buy this amazing house. You have this beautiful wedding dress. We have all known those stories, and I've seen this in my friend group where one of the girls, she really was in love with a wedding dress. She shared it in our WhatsApp group, and then another friend bought it when she got engaged before that actual friend who initially shared that dress even got the chance to buy it or wear it herself. So be very careful with those things. And we were a group of very close friends. So please never share your future plans. Only share them while it is happening or when it's done happening. Like, don't go and share your wedding dress in a WhatsApp group with your best friends if you're not even engaged and it's going to maybe take 4 years before your wedding is going to happen, because in those 4 years, my girl, another friend can also marry in that dress, and that is exactly what happened. The same thing with the company idea. You have maybe this amazing business idea. Go and start that business. Work towards that business. Do not share it with other people until you have actually started that business. And sometimes it's actually also amazing to keep quiet while you just started that business until you kind of know, like, okay, I have my base, I'm doing great, now it's my time to share. Why do you think people never share the first stage of their pregnancy immediately after they found out? They usually share it after 3-4 months of pregnancy. There is a reason for that. I really believe that a lot of things can happen, can go wrong if you overshare. I believe in karma. I do believe in evil eye. I have seen things happening in my life where I'm like, okay, there is something. I really believe it. So you need to be very careful. People do not share it because, you know, the first months of an infant, most crucial months, a lot of things can go very wrong or very well. So just keep it to yourself until you are over that month. You know, a lot of things can happen. There are some crazy people on this planet. So your future plans, keep them to yourself. There are a lot of people who want to be you. There are a lot of people who want to steal ideas from you. So just keep it to yourself. Number 3 is relationships. Oh my. Never share your relationship. Never go into details with your relationship. And what I mean by that is, for example, you're married, okay? I am married. I do share pictures of me and my husband. I do share pictures with my child and my husband. But I am not going to film my husband while he's taking a shower or while he is cooking me dinner. Like, the private things, keep them to yourself. Again, there are great people watching your stories, for example, on Instagram, but there are also a lot of malicious people, unfortunately, watching your stories who have not the greatest intentions. It's just going crazy nowadays with social media. And I'm not only talking about social media, but just be careful. You've just met someone. You don't need to share this person all over social media if this person haven't even, you know, proposed to you yet. A lot of things can go wrong. A lot of jealous people, exes, you know, just a lot of things can happen. And if you want true happiness, never share what you do in that bubble of happiness. Only share the outside things. You can share pictures, you can share videos, but don't go into too much detail. Let people wonder. Destruction has a lot of noise, but creating a beautiful family, creating your dream life, creating your business takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, but it's quiet, but it takes a lot of time. Destruction makes a lot of noise, you know, breaking up a couple, stealing someone's business idea, fighting, makes a lot of noise, but it's very quick. It just happens in 1 second. You can break up a relationship if you want, you know, with the snap of your hands. So be careful. Doesn't matter if you're married or not married. Doesn't matter if it's your parents. You can share your parents, but don't go into detail about what they're doing in their daily lives and what their house looks like and what your bedroom looks like and what the kitchen and what you give your kids for dinner every single day. Or once in a while, yes. This has also nothing to do with how many followers you have on Instagram or any other platform. It's just also if you're someone who doesn't even have Instagram, or you just share it with other people, with a very close friend, or for example, a family member, and everyone is talking about their husband, that he's lazy and he doesn't this and he doesn't this. Don't talk bad about your husband. Just say a few things. You can say, for example, oh yeah, mine is lazy too, mine is this, but don't go into details if you don't trust the person that you're talking with fully, because it will go through the entire family, it will go through everyone's ear. A lot of, again, malicious people are listening to that, and it's just not okay. You have your close friends, close family members for that. Don't go and talk about anything or anyone about your family, your spouse, your kids. And number 4 are your weaknesses. Never share your weaknesses, because they can and they will be used against you. I have yet to encounter a situation where when I've shared my weakness, the person wouldn't use it against me. It has always been used against me. Maybe not immediately after you've shared it. It can happen 2, 3, 4 years after you've shared it. It's usually not immediately after you share it. You know, usually when you share it, it's going great. For example, you share it with a very good or your best friend, your relationship is going great. But usually it happens when you're in a fight or you're kind of growing out of the relationship. You know, everyone is going on a different path, different lives. Usually those things will be used against you when you are not as good as friends or something, just, you know, on the rough path. Do you not understand? You give them like this power. You're handing them like something to use against you. They now know like, oh, if I do this, this person will be scared for sure. Please be careful when you do that. So never talk about your weaknesses. I've had this girl who was very pretty, and she shared that she was obsessed with chocolate. And other girls, because she was so pretty, and her body was amazing, they would always try to bring her chocolate so she would become fat. Obviously, she didn't become fat, but the intention behind them purchasing the chocolate wasn't because she truly loved chocolate, but because they were like, oh, so we need to give her chocolate so her body will change. I didn't know that back in that time, but one of them shared it with someone, and this person talked it through the whole friendship group, and not nice. So just the smallest things, be careful with who and whom you share it with, because it will be used against you. There's a bigger chance that it will be used against you than that it's not going to be used against you. And sometimes it will also be used against you in an argument, or, you know, just in situations with other people that maybe you have never shared it with them, and in a way to kind of embarrass you in front of those people. So please be careful. Don't share anything if possible, or don't overshare if you do need to talk about it a little bit. I mean, I talk about finances, I talk about my relationship, I talk about my weaknesses, I talk about my future plans with my friends, with family, but I don't go into details. You know, I talk about, for example, future plans, like, oh, you know, I want to be rich. Let's make plans, but see what their ideas are. And I will give them a few ideas, but not the actual idea I have in my mind. Obviously, we talk about money, like what can we do to earn more money? Do you have any ideas? I have heard that TikTok is really good. Does anyone have experiences with TikTok? What do you need to do? No, 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 no. You can talk about those things, but don't go into detail about it. And you need to know when you should stop. When you feel that you're going to overshare something, count to 10, think about it in your head, like, is it really worth sharing this? And just be silent. Sometimes it's better to be silent and say nothing at all than to overshare. And if it's really getting difficult for you, you're like in that subject and everyone is oversharing, just change the subject or say, I would not like to talk about that, or it's getting so boring talking about numbers, let's talk about something else. How to avoid talking about the things that you not wish to talk about. So ladies, I hope this video helped you out, and I will be seeing you in my next video very soon. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the lighting was okay. I'm in my closet right now. The sound is also maybe a little bit off, but the lighting was, I think, better here. It's very cloudy today, so the lighting, because of all the lamps here, was better, I think, when I compared it to other rooms. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Bye!